Yo,
Hey,
yo, what's good?
hey. Oh, it's mostly good.
Peace and
Mostly good.
salutations, my dude.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
can you hear me and everything?
Oh yeah, it's loud and clear. Oh yeah,
Awesome, awesome. Uh,
wowing.
I want to thank you first and foremost for being with us here today, man. Uh,
Oh yeah, no problem.
I
I
know
just heard you
it's
say
like
you were here.
it's yeah, I'm in Amherst.
I was in Amherst for 6 hours today. We
Oh
might as well
shit.
distance it, I guess. We might as
Yeah,
well
well,
distance it, I guess.
I want to
Just
do
the
like a
meeting.
interview in person, but like I'm cool with not doing it,
Oh
whatever.
yeah, all kinds of people are doing it this way.
Yeah, fuck yeah, it's the vibe right now.
Might as well digitize it.
And like for two like introverts like ourselves, it's perfect,
Oh
right?
yeah, oh yeah. This is how we've been talking to friends and stuff for the last few months, anyways. Oh
So like
yeah.
um yeah, break it down for me. Like how is COVID for you? Like are you loving it or are you hating life?
It's actually kickstarted a lot of good things for me because I was in a kind of COVID type quarantine mental hole the month
Yep,
prior, like 6 to 18, 20 months prior. So
totally.
it kind of it kind of made it so I could set a bunch of mental stuff straight and keep working on all kinds of music stuff also at the same time. But then yeah, I kind of found it was kind of business as usual and just kind of a chance to
For
be
us,
like, okay,
yeah.
now like extra time.
Yeah, man. Extra time. All right, can we start at the beginning though?
Okay, which beginning? Because I got
Your
a good
beginning.
chapter
Your beginning. Uh
of this character.
growing up.
Yeah,
Growing up, like were you born in Amherst?
yeah. Oh, yeah. And we lived in Spring Hill till I was about 3, and then moved to just outside Amherst in Brookdale. So yeah, pretty
Nice.
much Amherst. I didn't spend a lot of time ever in the town. I was a country way
So
out there.
like
So yeah.
Cumberland County exclusively,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
basically. Okay, so
Oh
can
yeah.
you tell me, like, you don't have to tell me because I know about it, but like tell the people what it's like growing up in Amherst.
Well, it can be what you make it, really. Like you can fall into the badness of it, but you can also just focus on really finding things to pass the boredom that people blame the small town problems on.
Right.
You can kind of really just, yeah, I don't know. I kind of just, it can be slow and boring in some ways, but you can also really just focus into arts and stuff. And yeah, it's a beautiful
Absolutely.
land area. So yeah,
Were you
I
drawn
don't
into
find,
like trouble early in life?
no, really, I don't know about trouble.
Well, because like Amherst has like a weird vibe to it because like when I was growing up, all the cool dudes had like been in jail or was playing on the basketball team. You know what I mean? Like the jocks or like some real thugs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. I was just in between every type of person for the most part.
And
Kind of
like that's
outside of
what I
it all.
dig about you a lot is you're very unique. Like um you must have stood out a lot in high school for that. Like
Yeah, I would kind of, I was dressing up all sorts of different types and ways, and then settled into the punk thing super hard, and then
yeah.
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's easier to stick out when everyone's kind of the same anyway. Yeah.
I mean like how did you really craft your style though because it's so unique, right?
Well, I don't know. Yeah, it's just I like being so. I was trying to figure out how to fit in for a while with the rap sound and stuff, and experiment in that. But then I found as I would weird myself out more was the stuff that was getting good reactions. So then I was like, okay, I'll just go totally opposite of conventional methods, and then stuff's coming out, and I don't know. Yeah, I just go with it. It's
But
hard to
like, where
pinpoint.
did you first start rapping? Because like I know like a little bit about like your battle history and like you started doing that, but like you must
Yeah.
have like had an interest for rapping prior.
All right. So from the beginning, when I was about 8 years old, I found a CD like case full of like old 2000s, like 90s stuff, like Ja Rule, DMX, and all this stuff, and like Eminem and type stuff. So
Right?
I remember being super young as a kid, liking all this gnarly stuff, and then I think my parents kind of hated it and took it away and whatnot. And then
Yep.
as I found metal in grade 6 to kind of replace that, and was into that for years. And then
Were they
around
cool with
grade
that
12,
more? Were they more cool with that?
yeah, more. kind of, but still, they were it was kind of always a "what are you doing" type thing.
Yeah, they were
I
still
always,
kind of sketched.
I always like the extremes of everything. Yeah,
Yeah, no,
yeah,
totally. I hear you on that. Uh,
oh yeah,
so like you gravitated more towards metal. Did you get into a band early?
yeah. That was always the kind of thing to try and do. Was we were just kind of making loud ruckuses and sheds, and then we then like the punk was that was all kinds of. We were in three bands at once, pretty much usually, and
Yeah.
just kind of always filling the time with that. And then when members started to have to move away once we graduated, it was kind of like, oh, we might as well teach ourselves to rap since we found a bunch of different good stuff to like listen to all the time. So
Yeah,
yeah,
man.
it kind of just came out of boredom again.
I hear that story a lot. It's like very hard to keep a band together, especially early on in your life
Yeah,
because it's so transitional.
yeah, oh yeah,
You know, like people get out of high school and don't know what they're doing with the rest of their life. They, could move off to another country and, whatever.
yeah, oh yeah. I never had those thoughts. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
exactly.
just kind of
No,
stayed
me
home.
either. I couldn't really stray too far from home anytime. You
Mm.
know, I had aspirations of, going to LA or New York to try and like take up this rapping thing, but like it was too daunting. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. You gotta build your own way
Yeah, man.
where you can.
Um, so you kind of transitioned out of being in bands and stuff, and then you were like, okay, well, let's teach ourselves how to rap. Who was in that group with you that was like trying to teach themselves how to rap also?
So my friend Connor, who raps as Bruce Wayne,
Yep.
he always had he rapped us. Well, he would write a few things like years before I even tried, like just on his own, and then I would see those and be like, oh well, shit, that's really dope. How can I'm writing kind of punk lyrics that are kind of rhyming and stuff? So then I kind of just started stretching them out, and then just like writing stuff that I knew was bad, but just kind of just page after page, still just plowing through it and being like, okay, yeah, this is kind of the whole art of it, and yeah,
You can kind of
Connor was really.
see where it's going. It's like it's raw, but like
Mm,
you can see like the polished version of it in your mind. You just can't get to it yet.
yeah, yeah, I had to feel it out. So like the first rap he showed me though, among it, it was like at the same time it was Flight Distance, like
Yep.
so like Bender.
Yeah.
Like I was watching a lot of Disaster battles, Bender battles, and then we got right into that kind of heavy, like
So
his heavy
and
dense
that
style.
propelled you into the battle scene locally?
Yeah, oh yeah, because then I started looking that up, and then I kind of got a little overconfident at first. I thought I could go in and just take everybody out, and thought it was going to be that, and then I kind of ran into myself there
Yeah.
super hard, and then
Was your
that was
first
another
battle with
learning
us
period.
on the spot?
No, it was it was VRL against Chell.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
so
the Valley Rap League.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
So that was in the Annapolis Valley region.
That was
Shout
way
out to
Greenwood. Yeah,
Bowen and the whole staff
yeah, yeah,
down
yeah,
there.
yeah. That was actually it was wild for me. I was right. That was probably my first like rap performance at all too. So I
Yeah.
remember being right stressed about it, but and then losing it. But it was just overall fun to put myself out in the world. I have no idea about.
When I saw that on the flyer, I was I had two emotions for you. I was proud because like that's a courageous move, but I was also scared for you because like,
I was only
like
6 months into writing raps.
yes, yes, you weren't even performing yet.
Yeah, yeah. And I was just watching a lot of big battles too, so it was a whole different vibe to learn the small battles.
Absolutely.
Oh
Because the
yeah,
crowds are different, right?
yeah. That oh yeah. That's still even my last battle was probably my ninth or tenth. I still get the whole blank out with the crowd and everything, but
Yeah.
I learned to channel it now.
The crowds in Nova Scotia battling and like Maritimes in general is just strange because I don't feel like they know how to react accordingly
No, because most of the people are being brought there to discover what rap battle rap is,
for the first
and then
time.
even if you have an idea of it, you can. They're probably thinking on some 8 Mile type rapping, so then it's going to be like a whole
Even
different
King of
shock
the
to hear
Dot,
it.
it's not similar.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Like
because it's just a different demographic. So yeah.
absolutely, and like the the vibe in the air is completely different. Like if you go to a professional battle rap event, I'm guessing that the vibe is more like business type, and like the vibe in a local battle rap thing is kind of like hostile.
And it has to do with the venues too, because it's usually like a bar that doesn't know about it too. So there's always
Right.
an uncertainty of all sorts of energies flying.
There's like
Yeah.
6 guys sitting at the bar that aren't happy with it at every local
Oh
show.
yeah.
And
Especially
like
with my jackass style.
those guys could make or break your night, because if they're chilling, just watching the game, it's whatever, that's fine. But if they want to
Yeah.
start some issues, it could really pop off.
Yeah, I've been around. I've seen a couple little samples of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's intimidating, man. It's literally a gladiator's arena,
Oh yeah, it can be.
because, like just being a fan, you could get slapped out in a battle rap venue, like,
Oh
like
yeah.
it's crazy. So like, tell me how you felt in your first battle. Who did you battle first? Was it Shell?
Yep, Chell back. Yeah, Chell P or whatever he was then. But yeah,
Yeah.
that was a. And now I look back and I'm like, I actually performed maybe a little better than my next few because I was in such a blur.
Hmm.
So then it was like I was just blasting it out without thinking even of choking at all. So then my next few I ran into being thinking that wasn't possible.
Yeah.
So
You don't
yeah,
really
the first
drink at
one
shows, do you?
actually okay. So the first like 6 battles I did, and that like it progressively was getting worse because now I don't drink at all. I can't even. It's like a whole allergy thing that I discovered way too late.
Yeah.
So those battles where I was choking, like that PEI one,
Hmm.
that's like that's just a case of just
Was
trying to
that
do way too
MCD?
much. It was against Casanova, yeah, in the parking
Yes.
lot,
Oh man,
and
that was a
it didn't
crazy
happen till one,
battle. I-
and I
If
somehow
y'all
won it.
if y'all are looking to reference these battles on YouTube, look up On the Spot Battle League, and
Not maybe the Casanova one. That's some punishment type stuff for me. Even though I
yeah,
won it, it's like hard to watch. Even though I took the win,
it was a
because like
rough battle. I'm not gonna
I was
hold you. That
smoking hash with like farmers.
yeah,
It was
dude.
crazy.
Yes, that's a whole different vibe over there, man. And like that
Yeah.
also could get very hostile in PEI. It's a peaceful little place, but
And there's people. What threw me off, I think, in my anxiety was the people walking by on the street, and then I was doing some weird rap about fucking eviscerating the fucking whatever, and then I remember
didn't
looking
the
over for
cops
like the
pull up?
frame. I
I
think they were lurking across in the park.
Yeah,
It's all very blurry because I was mixing liquors and I shouldn't even have been,
and smoking PEI weed.
and hash, and it was just a mess. It
Yeah,
was a story. It was a
yeah.
story though.
Well, like when you go over there, I feel like it's the like PEI people's duty to get you lit. So they try their
And yeah,
hardest to get you fucked up. They're
and
they're
yeah, that
great
and
people in that way.
I
Like
just I took the whole day on a road trip. I wasn't even thinking about the battle. It was just cruising around, smoking, being dummy. But you learn.
hell
You
yeah,
learn.
you definitely learn, man. I definitely have done some shows too drunk or too high, and have regretted it in a big way. So
Yeah,
like,
that's a life in general thing for me. Yeah.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
for sure, dude. Um, But yeah, man, there was a lot of heat going on in that battle league. Like there was a lot of hostility, not just at the events, but like on the message boards and stuff. Uh,
Yeah.
a
Oh
lot
yeah.
of
I
back
would
and
talk
forth,
mad shit.
man. That
I
was
was
some
on a
real
lot of
gladiator
fuck.
shit.
And that was when my first like year of rap. I was on a real heavy fuck rap vibe.
Yep.
If you may have noted, it was very clear in the demo title and everything.
Yeah. Your
And so
your
then
whole
I had to,
demographic was definitely fuck rap and fuck
and then
you
I
if you
had
got
to
an
learn,
issue with it.
and then I noticed that people had issues with it, and I was like, okay, maybe I can tone, maybe I can bounce.
But
Maybe
no,
there's
like you
good.
kept that same energy with the people who had issues with you though. Like
Yeah, yeah.
you didn't
Then
really
it came
like,
to.
you know what I mean? You didn't really waver in that way. You know what
Oh
I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
But like you definitely learned your lesson from those encounters, because like it could go sideways,
yeah.
right?
Because we all got a different view of it. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So like yeah, man, your battles were crazy early on. especially
Oh
because
yeah.
of all the chirping back and forth. And
Oh
like,
yeah. And that's you can make that a good part of it too, which it became later on with these later ones. And
yeah,
these Elements ones that were just starting before the shutdowns. I was getting
mm,
on some it was getting fun again.
yeah,
Those last few. Even the smoked out ones were like real. I was like more in a relaxed type of vibe.
yeah, man. Shout out to Israel and the whole Elements League staff, man.
Yeah. I think
Um,
it's kind of not it's probably on a little pause right now, but because we had those
they're
booked
from what I heard, they're
and then
working on it.
oh yeah, I imagine, yeah.
Because I
He had a
mean,
very detailed look at it, yeah.
they got their own little space. They can get that shit off.
And the people that came out actually, it kind of shook me a bit, even because it was probably 40 people in this room, and that was way more than any of the like any
So was
battle I'd
that
ever seen.
was that the Spryfield event?
Yeah, right in the boxing academy. Oh yeah, that's
Holy
probably one of the
frig, yeah,
best events.
that's pretty hardcore.
Oh yeah, it was. Oh yeah,
How did you feel walking into that venue?
it was. It's weird. You'd think it would be more stressed with the people and stuff, but when you go in, there's people smoking and eating and stuff.
Oh
It's kind of
yeah,
more like a at home. It's more like you're just going into a party and like it was. Yeah, it kind of that kind of kept me grounded. It was just like,
yep.
oh, this feels like I'm just hanging out with the crew in
Scotians are the
a
same
solo
in that
vibe.
way.
Mm.
You know,
Oh yeah,
they'll just
I enjoyed
have a
that.
party wherever.
Yeah.
Before that, they would just have parties in the park at the Commons.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and they had some legendary battles and shit. How did it feel to battle for Elements League, knowing their history?
Oh, it was crazy. And then even knowing just the bits of the names of the judges that were both just watching and actually judging, it
Who
was just
judged
like,
your battle? Was it Tyson?
no, he was watching. He was right there on the ropes, but I
Yeah.
forget probably the exact names of the three that judged. But it was a crew of people that have been rapping way longer than I had ever even been
Yeah.
thinking about music. So I was like, okay, this is
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
be
yeah. That's a lot of pressure, man. When
honestly
cats
it's
like
gonna be
Miracle
honestly
are
huge.
there, and it's like, Quake is right
Yeah, oh yeah,
there. It's like,
yeah, but it makes you find your own zone.
Pat Stay came up in that vibe. Like, it's
Yeah,
it's it's big boots, big
yeah, oh
pressures.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Um, but like, um, going back to the music a little bit, like,
Yeah.
um, what made you say, "Fuck it, let's do your first performance"? Because I remember that conversation and like your reluctance.
Oh, it was just gonna be a part of it. I was just kind of worried, not even worried, but I knew my sound was gonna be changing every month at that point. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna put a set together and it's gonna be old songs in like 2 weeks, kind of the way I go at it.
Yeah.
But then I started to really like the actual whole act of the performance and the reaction. So then I would kind of pop into everyone I got offered to. But I kind of
What
keep
type
them
of
to myself.
reactions do you normally get?
It's a lot of quiet effort, kind of, but I don't know. I notice when it does get through, it's very passionate because it is so kind of not to just say I'm different and unique, so unique and good, but like
Yes.
I think it would come off as different,
Oh, it's
just
very
as
different than what
the
you would
way
hear
it's
at a
handled.
normal rap show
Yeah,
in the Maritimes, at least. Like, I mean, nowadays your sound is coming more in trend, but like
yeah, yeah. It's getting
when you were
culty.
first
Yeah.
doing your thing, we never really understood it. And to be fair, I still don't really get it. Like,
No, and it's gonna
I
be
want
getting
to
more
go
like that.
over that with you. Can you
Oh yeah,
explain
cool.
to me what lo-fi is?
Well, there's okay. Lo-fi is now it's since about 2017ish. I'm not an official source of information, but
Yeah,
it's like when you're making that beats with that old school like kind of like not a crust to it, but it's got that fuzz to it, and like on
that's a
old
dust.
machines, maybe like yeah, and like old MPCs and like really sample based boom bap, and like but super mellow, like.
Hmm.
And then you can get more into the noisy parts of it, like
Is that where you tend to go?
yeah, because I don't know if you've heard of a term called vaporwave, but
No,
it's like it crosses into like cloud rap and stuff where it's super like
like acid
ambient
rap?
style. Yeah, I guess that would be kind of a term too. Yeah, yeah. But like just the whole mellow trap beats I get into, and then
We're getting into some subgenres here, y'all.
I start to now I've been fucking with. I've really been enjoying beats that don't drop, like beats that they're so ballsy they don't have the drums, like that Rock Marciano style.
Yeah.
It's just like rate loops, samples. I don't know. It can vary. Lo-fi is like kind of it can span different musics.
Just to let you know, if we get cut off by Instagram in any way, I'll be going right back into it to finish the interview.
Sure.
Okay, so yeah,
Oh,
I would just have to save the interview and anyways, I just
yeah,
wanted to let you know so it's
yeah.
not abrupt if we get cut off and shit.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, man, people like Griselda and shit really kind of brought
Mm.
it into the
And
mainstream a little more.
I somehow stumbled into them, like not to say I beat everyone to the punch again, but like
No, no, no,
I
you
somehow
definitely were
when I
out
found them
before them in my mind.
when I found them in 2016, it was as if they kind of matched the like underground British stuff I was listening to and trying to sound like kind of
Yeah,
influenced by. So like then when I started noticing like American street rap cross into that, I was like, oh, this can be,
this could
oh,
take it
okay.
places.
So then when I was getting all into that, and then when Alchemist started making beats with that vibe too, I
Yeah.
was like, oh shit, I'll settle into that and listen to all that, and then
Were
they've
you
definitely been an influence of
were you
mine.
super influenced by underground British rap early on?
Yeah, that was actually part of the first things Connor would show us, like Contact Play, Dirty Dyke, and all them kind
Yeah.
of all this like kind of under. Now it's starting to be up in the underground, but just super like just super dense lyrical stuff. But yeah,
And that's the crazy thing. Like people at the shows, I've noticed, get confused by the beats that you have. But when they
oh
hear
yeah,
the
because
lyrics, you can see them getting it and chuckling and getting into it more. You know what I mean?
yeah, oh yeah.
At first,
Because
they
I
don't know how to take you.
sometimes I'll be sampling like I found these channels on YouTube that put up old records
Hmm.
and just like all sorts of stuff that gets hidden in time, like just all sorts of ambient jazz and stuff. And I would start to throw them in the beats. And then I noticed my stuff I would be playing on the piano and stuff would be super influenced by these weird avant-garde, just like experimental, like all sorts of weird stuff from the 70s and crap. And
Yeah,
yeah, and then now I'm still kind of warping and bending it. If you check my last few tapes,
yeah.
they're I'm settling
Um,
into a vibe.
are you producing the majority of your stuff?
Only, yeah. I had one tape where I had guest beats way back in like 2015. I don't even think it's up on anymore because I had a huge quality upgrade, so I took off a few old things.
Hmm.
But it's lately it's just been I think I used a couple melodies and credited the guy that we kind of he sent me a couple things. But yeah, I like to just do the whole like just front. It's not like I don't know if it's a selfish thing, but I just kind of I like to build the whole thing right from nothing to the top.
Is that your process? Like you start by the sample and then you make the beat and then you start writing, or do you have a written and maybe
So
you just want to make a beat around it?
so I've settled into this. That was kind of the way I was doing it at first. I had a bunch of I would just write words over random beats, like all sorts, maybe not even mine, and then
Yeah.
fit them to beats later.
Hmm.
And then I kind of got stuck in that, and then kind of got maybe bored with it or something. So then I got way ahead on beats and just would I made like 200 beats straight without even thinking of writing, just to practice that producing vibe.
Yep.
And then I noticed I started collecting up the writtens again around 2017, and then pretty much that burst of like albums I put out all 2019 was stuff I had wrote from 2017 until then. I would just go back and put words over it and then write new hooks and fit it all together kind of
Basically
just like
everything on Spotify right now.
yeah, and then yeah, it's all in there and then so I kind of piece it all together weirdly after the fact and now that's I'm in a hybrid of that.
Hmm.
But sometimes now I'm making beats where I have to write to it immediately and it's like I'll have a tape with mostly a certain month of 2018 beats and then a random 2020 beat just because it fits that vibe so well.
Hmm.
and then I kind of produce it all together in Reaper and make it all sound like it was made in one time anyway. So yeah, it's all, I like the whole mastering. I'm not really mastering real good, but it's a fun way to just kind of color it in yourself. Yeah.
What are you using program-wise? I know you said Reaper and stuff.
Yeah, so I just make it all in MPC software, just on an MPC Studio with like an old keyboard
Okay.
right there. And then
Yeah.
I sequence it out in there and then put those tracks over into Reaper to do the vocals, and then I master it all with those plugins on Reaper as like a separate thing.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm no pro, but
How
I
did
just
you
like to.
get to that level technically?
Um, well, we just started back in that original day. I had I tried Fruity Loops a bit and then didn't catch it, and I was recording vocals just right through like Audacity on a bad laptop,
Hmm.
and all that Brain Tea stuff was actually made like that, like Audacity, no fucking DAW or nothing. I guess Audacity is one, but
Yeah.
it's real. And then I guess I just noticed Reaper was like $60, and then I was like,
You were just
fuck,
like
why?
sold.
It's basically an amped up Audacity, I noticed, and like
Yeah.
it's really good for recording audio, and I can plug my guitar right into it and do stuff with that, which I've been trying to. Now I've been crossing the metal stuff,
Yeah,
the
I
mellow
can
guitars
tell.
into it. Mm.
Your roach lung side is bleeding into
Oh
your
yeah,
narcoskeptic side.
yeah, yeah, and the raps they seep into the roach song too.
Oh,
It it all
absolutely, dude.
it all creeps.
Yeah, man. Like I feel like you're you uniquely no matter what style you're in.
Oh yeah, and roach song just started kicking up again after we had like a year-long break. We just started jamming again the last 2 months, so that's been another outlet.
Talk
And
about how you got into roach lung.
so it's the same guys I always played with back. It's
Yeah.
actually my two like childhood like all time friends, Kenny and Mike. We were in punk bands together and metal stuff. So then back in like 2013, me and Kenny wanted to start a band called Roach Lung, just like
Mhm.
some type of metal band. But then when he moved and stuff, we kind of just I kept the name and just kind of used it as my like record page to like put music on as
Your label
Narcoskeptic,
page.
just like the Roach Lung Recordings Bandcamp.
Yep.
But then when we all kind of reconvened in summer of 2017, we were like, damn, that name is still just a perfect like stoner band name. So then we are like, fuck it, let's just use that. And then we kind of have our own weird. We're just like a three piece, but we kind of just think our way through improvs and then kind of write them out, and it's its own
So
experimental thing too.
so roach lung songs start out as freestyles.
Yeah, we'll say like we'll just pick a riff and then kind of play it and change volumes and go and kick it in louder and stuff. We'll just play around with it, and maybe we'll say a little plan sometimes, but then I notice we just end up usually feeling it out improv, yeah, and then catching a
Your
little recording
style
of it
is
and
very
memorize it.
experimental,
Yeah, oh yeah,
kind of just like
you
hit and
gotta,
miss, just work until you get it type shit.
yeah, oh yeah. And I was doing this next thing. I'm working on something now. I'm actually what I was doing was just kind of putting a bunch of raps into one notepad and then like rapping them all in one day, and then not really thinking about arranging, and like I was kind of getting real free with it on
Mhm.
like the last few maybe, but this time I'm back into the messing around with planning it out and stuff. So it's been a fun little thing, not rushing it like I was a little bit.
Well, that's the thing about this pandemic right now is like everything's kind of in pause.
Oh yeah,
There's
yeah.
no
So yeah,
pressure to like, oh, let's push it out. Let's get behind it because this show's coming and I want to sell copies and you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like, it's not that.
Oh yeah, I
Um,
was always kind of outside of that.
yeah, yeah. I always feel really influenced by that type of vibe. Like, I always want to have something to sell or like to shill, I guess.
Yeah, oh yeah. I That's one part I was gonna be learning to try and figure out more this year was the promotion and kind of just doing more sets and getting out into the world instead of just hiding away creating it constantly.
Well,
But then
man,
that
like
all hit.
the world is coming around to our side, the introvert side. Uh,
Yeah, true. Yeah.
um,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
have you thought about doing a Instagram concert?
I thought that it probably wouldn't work for my. I don't know. I think I would need to figure out more audio stuff or something, and
Yeah,
I don't know. I'd have to. It wouldn't. It didn't feel natural when I started seeing it pop up. So I don't know. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
I was
always
like, I'll just
hard
put in the reps. Yeah,
to
and
like create the energy when there's not a lot of people.
I like to have my sound booming and everything.
Right, eh?
I'm pretty old school for being into the new tech a little bit, but yeah, it's a
Yeah,
little
man.
hard.
Um, that's like that's super unique. Um, talk about your last battle with Smoked Out.
Smoked out there. What was that last one? Probably with Wendigo, yeah.
Yes.
Right Tone and then Wendigo, yeah.
You
That was
really impressed a lot of people in that battle.
yeah, that one and that Right Tone one before it was
Yes,
really good too.
how did it feel to serve Right Tone and L?
It was good. It was
Because I
I
know
don't
he's a talker too. Like,
oh yeah, yeah.
and
Yeah,
shout
he's
out to
been
Right
around.
Tone. Like, that's no disrespect. I got
I
mad
actually
love for
liked
Right
it. No,
Tone.
that's what I liked because I know he rapped in the original like he's been way longer than me, so I
Yeah,
expect that kind of I
and like
expect
he
to
keeps the
be
same
talked to.
energy. He's not one of
Oh
the
yeah.
dudes that like
He's
when
a
he
realer
sees
one.
you, it's a totally different,
Yeah,
than
yeah.
on the
It
internet.
was real. Oh yeah.
He keeps the same
And
energy.
that one really could have went either side too. Like
Yeah,
I really I try and get into the wins and losses of it, but that one even I don't know, some of the stuff I wrote, I was like, this could be complete trash, but then it got good reactions. So it was like, okay, man, then well, this is me learning.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, how did it feel being in a boxing ring for that? Because that's weird, right?
Oh, that next one versus Zeltmop or Complex, yeah, that was I was actually really super relaxed all night, just hanging out before the battle started, and then there was one guy late, so we were going to be the third, and then as soon as as soon as Israel said Narcoskeptic to the ring, I was like, oh, there's the stage thing, and then
The
I
butterflies,
like,
right?
I even like tripped getting into the ring, and I heard Tyson like roast me. He's like, this dude's the most awkward way of getting in the ring ever, and I was just
Yes.
like, wait till you see me rap.
And that's basically the vibe all around with you. Like, you might look a certain way, but when you hear the
Oh
bars
yeah,
that you come with and like the passion you have for it, people
I was
look at you
yeah.
a whole different way.
Oh yeah, I was there in like weird orange corduroy pants and shit. But that was even taking that loss, that for some reason, just that whole vibe of that whole night made me feel so good that the loss was just like, oh sweet, I was in there and did all right.
Well, you were part of a bigger community, and like that Halifax scene is historic in like
Oh
the
yeah,
the caliber of MC that has come out of
and
it.
they yeah, and they make you bet your money, so it's like
Yeah,
you gotta get
put
in
your
there.
money where your mouth is legit.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Man, that's a whole other aspect. I'm sure there's a lot of like behind the
I
scenes,
always I
like
always
I'm
said I
not
wouldn't
paying
be
up.
doing that too. But
Yeah,
then there's some people doing $500 bets and stuff, and I was like, ooh, I won't be doing that.
yeah, that's where it starts to get dicey, right?
Yeah, because then you're gonna be, oh yeah, for me
Yeah,
anyway. I'm no
that's like the
idiot.
definition of sketchy. Yeah, but what are your aspirations battle wise? Are you gonna continue to do your thing?
Battle wise, I think if they ask to continue this one, I had one booked that you might actually find funny, but I was supposed to battle Serenade from the old on the spot
No
original
way.
days.
In
She was in the elements. Yeah, yeah. So she was in the
um,
elements, and I was like pumped about it because
shout out to Serenade.
yeah, oh yeah, and she got no showed her first battle, so she didn't really get to like really
Yeah,
battle. So then I
she's
was
had a couple
expecting
of
a
those.
fight. And she brings people out to the events too. So it was like,
Yep,
okay, this is gonna be a fun little thing. She's
yep.
gonna get right mean. But then that was supposed to be March 21st, and it kind of got
All right. Were
shut her
you
down.
planning on playing the bad guy in that?
Oh yeah, it was gonna be trash. It was gonna
You
be
were gonna get
scum.
evil.
It was gonna be, yeah, oh yeah,
All right,
oh
well,
yeah.
Serenade, you just been put on notice. Uh, if that battle happens, you better watch your ass.
Oh yeah, it was gonna be fun. It was gonna be fun. We were gonna make up after.
Oh, for sure, for sure. No, that's what the she's cool, man. Like respect to Serenade.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
Man, speaking about females and battling, what about SKB, man? Any aspirations to take her on?
Oh yeah, she's always given me good words, so I think I wouldn't be against that. Yeah, I know
She,
she can rap. She can really like actually rap, and
yeah.
she, yeah, she gets
A
into the whole
lot of
vibe of it.
people do not want
She's that.
smoke with SKB. I'm
She's
gonna
got
put that
that
out there.
passion. She's got the passion that can actually get a crowd to go, ooh, fuck. Like, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, she's got command in her voice that just makes
Yeah.
people have to
Oh
listen
yeah.
to what she's saying.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, Talk about Jay Bly. Complicated.
Taco. He's always been my way in pretty much. The last like there was a good lot like those smoked out. He would reach out to me when I would think I wasn't even thinking about battling really at a point after on the spot kind of stopped and whatnot.
Yep.
So then he always would always be telling me I was kind of a he saw what I could do a lot when I was kind of in the not sure of it. So then yeah, and then when the battles he said made a lot of sense, and yeah, oh yeah, we've always been great.
Absolutely, man. Like I feel like he's a super cornerstone in the maritime battle scene.
Yeah,
If it wasn't for Jay Bly, uh,
and him going out to BC and battling really actually got me into it
yeah,
too.
he kind of paved the way for a lot of cats.
Oh yeah,
'Cause I mean, like, if you're not Pat Stay, where do you go after you get out of the maritime scenes?
yeah,
It's hard to get in King of the Dot. Like, there are
yeah, because there's so many people. Yeah,
so many people in that. So, like, what do? You go to a place like Smoked Out, and like that's the roadmap that Comp laid for everybody.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
he was trying to
absolutely.
set up some stuff.
And he was super savage with his bars. Like he didn't give a fuck.
Oh yeah,
He
he was a big. Oh yeah, he
he
didn't take it personal.
like he'd make up with you after, but like he was going for your throat at all times.
Oh yeah, I actually got to battle him in that four-way. I was in late November 2018.
Yeah.
That was a super fun thing where I only wrapped 2 out of 3 rounds, and I think everyone said I won. Maybe I don't know. I'll say that.
What was it like writing for that battle? Because it's so unique.
That was super fun and like woke me up in a way for like writing
I feel like
at
you
that
really
time.
came to life after that. Uh,
Yeah, 'cause I did a lot better than I expected to because the room was weird and like it was a
it was
restaurant
a
with
weird
people.
room. The stage.
It was a night of all rap performances, and
Yep.
then things
And
were
that
getting pushed back
traditionally
and
doesn't go
delayed.
good for battlers.
Yeah, no, and then we were after midnight battling, and then I don't know, just this. I find the silly, simple shit can get a crowd like that. You can get a crowd like that on your side by just
And it was fun.
keeping it.
Like it was a fun battle.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It
It
wasn't
kind of
just savagery.
it kept it less monotone for me writing it, having that switch up because I could be like you. Oh yeah, and then you too, and then
Oh, and
look at you
you.
over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah. I found I went at that. That was fun. Yeah.
Did you write a lot more bars than you usually would for a battle in that case?
Uh, that one I actually think I kept it to like pretty much 32 each before I kind of the third round kind of got sabotaged a little bit when Isaac's like left mid. He left at the end of his, and I was gonna be the last guy, and then I tried to like
What was that like to
freestyle.
watch? Because that was
That was
real,
intense
real.
because well, I'm not. I don't want. I'm not talking shit about him. He said he was in a rough
He's a
spot and showed
great
up.
dude.
Yeah, oh yeah. He came out about it afterwards and said he fucked it up and stuff. But the fact
Shout
he
out to
showed
his
up in
age.
the
That's
fact
my
he showed up
bro.
in the state he said he was in was crazy. And then, but especially me being up here, never being in situations, maybe I kind of got a little nervous and fucked up my freestyle
Well,
just
they're
by, you
real
know,
life
just like,
best friends.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, true. They battled before too, but
Several times. Yeah.
yeah, and he was on. He had yeah. That got a whole rowdy. Even with
Yeah.
what happened separately in in that battle too.
That's where you kind
The
of have to
crowd.
learn to roll with the punches
There
a
was
little
I was
bit.
sitting. That battle got so weird. I was sitting cross-legged on the stage when the crowd was yelling at each other because
Yeah.
someone got mad about something.
Yeah, the crowd got heated at the end.
Well,
Well,
it was right
actually,
in
in
the
the
middle.
second round.
Yeah. And then I called it. I was supposed to rap my last third round, and I was just like, nah, no vibes, no vibes.
You didn't think you were going to be able to get through to the people with that type of
Well,
energy?
and I was like, I was reading my silly like little bars I had, and it just didn't seem to fit the seriousness of the room. So I was like, I'm not gonna make these people fucking go through this 2 minutes again.
And that's the
But
crazy
I
part.
think,
Like, it was supposed to be all fun and games.
yeah, and then someone
Got
that's
really
yeah,
crazy.
but when you're not a battle fan, you hear a word and you're like, oh, well, they mean that, or like, yeah,
Yes,
so
the crowd gets triggered.
mm,
And that's
yeah,
where it's very dicey because, like, who's to tell them, like, no, this isn't real? Like,
yeah,
this is this is prepared.
yeah, yeah,
Not in the sense where it's like scripted, but in the sense where like we all know what to expect, and we actually want our opponents to come at our throats in a way,
mm,
you know?
yeah. If it's good and creative.
Yeah. Did you ever end up doing a compliments battle?
No, I don't think. No, no,
I
I
would
don't
love
think
to
I'd be
see
into
you in
that.
one of those.
I don't know. I'm not very nice.
That's what
I
would
always
be
got
great about it.
I always get asked to write like
You would
love songs and
try to
stuff,
be
and I don't
nice,
know.
and it would be hilarious.
It would be like when Pat Stay did it, he was still insulting him. He just said super,
Big time, big
super,
time.
super lovey stuff. I
Yes,
would get into a
but super
aggressive.
insulting stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Like
that's the
like
type of
the
energy.
parts. Hey, parts of the serenade battle were complimenty.
But it didn't happen.
Yeah, it didn't get to happen. I was complimenting her pretty good.
Oh, for sure. I definitely, I would
I might have
imagine
to.
that you were a
I'll have
perfect
to
gentleman
probably.
in your rounds.
I'll have to refreshen those up for next for that because that's yeah.
Um, Man, in one of your songs, you said it's hard to
Oh,
it's hard to not stir the pot when talking about relations.
okay, yeah,
Tell me,
probably.
tell me what spurred that.
I honestly couldn't even tell you
Because
what song it's
it
from,
was in
but
reference to like talking to a girl, I think.
oh yeah, I'm kind of yeah. I get back in that topic now in this new state I'm in, but
I like hearing your girl records.
oh yeah, see, I
I
don't know.
don't
I get
expect them from you, so when I hear them, I take notice.
that must have been a while because I've been right out of that
Yeah, 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 yeah.
vibe.
You
I'm working
don't.
it back in now. I'm working it back in now that I
You
got into a
should,
whole other
man. You
situation.
should. Because even
I
like
just think in general, I've always been a struggle at that. So I was kind of,
me too.
I can't
Which
even
is
say
why
if
I
that
love
was a
hearing it.
specific, that's what, I couldn't even say if that was a specific, like,
Because I
off of
feel
a
like it's
certain event.
also stirring the pot when you have to talk to a girl.
Oh, yeah.
You know what
I've
I'm saying? Like
upset,
it could get dicey if you stir it the wrong way.
I've upset pots and everything. So
That's what
I
I'm
wrecked,
saying.
I've
It,
wrecked the stove.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm getting real with that.
How's your current stove? You okay?
Stove. What?
How's your current stove?
I got a propane stove here. I'm in the old school.
Yes. Are
Old
you
school.
camping and shit?
No, I live in this house that my grandmother lived in, and it's an old house that looks like a cabin camp pretty much. It's got all this wood in it and everything. It's been good.
That's lit. You must have been really happy to be kind of secluded when the pandemic hit.
Yeah, oh yeah, and yeah, I wasn't even into the roommate life before. I was kind of noticing I was getting insecure a little bit in my own routines and stuff. So
I
getting
hear
into
you,
my own
man.
spot was good. Yeah,
Man,
I
it's
really like
different.
because I get loopy when I make music. I'll just be looping the same thing for a half an hour and
And it
walking
can
in and
get
out of the room.
annoying because, like,
Yeah.
to us it wouldn't because we're trying to perfect something, but to somebody who's just hearing that same loop over and over,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Making beats can be a little boring for the
Even writing
outside person.
songs,
It's thrilling for me to correct a snare for 20 minutes, but
yeah,
yeah,
exactly. Even writing songs when you have to play the beat friggin' on loop 18 times to get a verse,
yeah.
people get annoyed.
Oh yeah.
Um, is it hard to maintain a relationship when you're in create mode all the time?
Uh, I've found it hard just not even getting to create mode. I don't know. I That's a hard. Yeah, I would kind of. I do like to zone off into it, but I don't know. I found a pretty good balance with that. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah, I
yeah.
don't know. My
I
relationship
find it
kind of.
hard as myself, just like, um, being a trustworthy guy and everything, like even just going to shows, it gets dicey because, you know, you got to be away a lot and just like
Yeah. Oh,
in
I always bring them.
sketchy places.
Yeah.
So, it's hard to explain that, oh, this room I'm working in, I'm not here to party with all these beautiful women. I'm I'm here to
I
entertain
just
them.
bring them.
I'm working.
I just bring them right in with me.
Yeah? Well, yeah, like the yeah, the last girl I saw you with is a real cool lady. She loves what you do and shit, so I thought that was really dope, man. The last show we kicked it at Moncton or whatever.
Yeah, the old hub.
Yeah, bro. That
Yeah,
shut down.
that was an interesting little floor set I did. That was actually probably no, I did one more in Amherst, but that was like one of the last ones. Yeah,
Yeah.
waste of
Robbie
time.
G
Mm.
in
Yeah,
Amherst?
he did his yearly. Yeah, he did that there 2019,
Yeah.
and he had another one set. He had another one set this spring that got coroned.
Tell me something.
Oh, maybe.
Why haven't you taken the bull by the horns and started doing shows in Amherst?
Oh, I just don't. I don't know. I haven't had any relations with any like venue people really, and I don't know. I'm just kind of
All
like
you got
shy
to
in
do
that
is say
way.
the word. I can make that
And like,
happen. That
yeah, and
introduction's easy.
my circle is real small, so I don't know. I never dipped my toe into that world even. I always had like friends like Tyrone book and everything and whatnot for the punk band. So
Yeah.
yeah, that is
Um,
another next step.
was Biggs one of the first people that embraced you from the Amherst hip hop scene?
Yeah, I remember early on when I first like even made the page, and I don't even think he would. Yeah, he wouldn't even have known who I was at all. He was just like, "Wow, you're from Amherst. That's cool." And yeah, oh yeah, that went way back.
Yeah, man. Like I remember him always bringing new cats to me, and like, yo,
Oh
can
yeah.
he do a slot in the show and
Huh.
stuff? And like, it was always really dope. Uh, so when he showed me your music, I was super blown away by it because like, traditionally the cats that he'd show me weren't like as like
Yeah.
stylistically involved as you.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and those beats. I listened to the first like year of beats I made, and it sounds like three different people ago, like
I have
even a couple
weird
years
old
ago.
keyboard beats. Actually, I have a couple of them.
Yeah, and it's like now I listen to it, it's like a whole different set of sounds that I've been using for the past 2 years that are kind of my like own thing I've built up. Whereas before I was just clicking random stuff and being like, oh, this will bang like this, and using old MPC drums that just came with it. Whereas now I've collected up some
Yeah.
weird stuff I keep using and tweaking.
How do you know a sample is right for your sound?
Well, I'll be listening to music, and if I hear that, just like if it's got my head bobbing and it sounds like a rap beat, because some rappers I listen to, the beats get way out there, so I'll be listening to records that remind me of beats I've heard. So then I'll make a little note to sample it, but it's sampling's been a pretty small part of it for me. Not it's yeah, it is fun when I do get into it, but I like
You
I've
don't
been
really
more into
dig for the samples that like.
I used to we would do it on YouTube though, like because like I have a really shitty computer that you can just say I don't know, I couldn't get the sample set up right, so I
Yeah.
found a way to do it off. Now I found a way to do it off the actual library of music I have digitally, so it's a little better quality. But
Hmm.
yeah, I'd just be listening to like Alice Coltrane or something and hear a harp and then be like, whoa, I'm gonna maybe put a little piece of drum on that. Yeah, sometimes I leave it super bare, and then there's been times where I chop things up to weird angles and stuff, but
Hmm.
sometimes it's good to just have that pitch down loop.
Um, Tell me how your sound evolved from your days with Bruce Wayne.
Oh yeah, so Bruce Wayne, we were going for this like heavy hitting
Boom
like I
bap
said,
ish.
we were listening to a lot of like that flight distancey,
Yep.
super hard, like
Real
really
spit.
like really intense writing and choruses and intricate. He
Hmm.
would get more into the double timey, like run the Julesy type speeds than I would, but we would fuse that and just make this super loud, like that was a lot more sampling back then, but it was I actually listened to some of that today and some
Me
of it's
too.
still my favorite stuff. Wow, yeah. All the laziness and stuff.
Shout out to
Shout out
Bruce
F.A.
Wayne,
Reed.
man. You
Oh
guys are
yeah.
cool now?
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. We actually are he sent me a beat through the guy he does things with. He put
Nice.
out he's putting out an album soon or and he just put out a single
I'm glad to
after he
hear he's
made
still
a
doing his thing, man. I really loved
oh
his
yeah.
bars.
Yeah, and the beat maker dude Isaac that he got with down in like Halifax or Dartmouth,
Yep.
it's like a totally different he's like a musical genius type producer of like crazy EDM type levels, but then he'll also put out the rap beats and mix and stuff like that. And it's been
Nice.
they sent me one to get on a 16 little cipher thing, so that's in the pipe too.
Have you ever contemplated doing a trap song?
Oh yeah, yeah, I make one of those beats every now and
Do
then
you really?
honestly, oh yeah, cause
I
I
would love to hear
oh for
what a
sure.
trap sound sounds like from you. That would be
Oh
like
yeah,
so fire.
I'm still a little messy with it, but I started messing with like the 808s and stuff,
Hmm.
and just big boomy bass, and then I started collecting beats off Reddit and watching Kenny Beats do those streams and stuff
Yeah.
where he shows like his beat breakdowns and stuff. I was like, oh, this is actually a fun. And I've been into super non-lyrical rap. I've gotten into some stuff you would probably swear to
No,
never
man.
rock
Hit
with,
me
but
with your shit. I have guilty pleasures too. Come on. Let's go.
yeah. See, I at some point I discovered that the beats to like 21 Savage were moving me in a way that I was like, oh, this is crazy. Like it's an
Yeah.
album type shit. Then I
Yeah.
started like
So aside
finding
from
that
808
stuff.
Mafia and shit, like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't like a lot of the poppier side of it, but just the way those simple beats hit,
yeah.
it's like energy,
Hmm.
pure energy. And then
And
so I
that's what the
find
new
stuff like,
kids have over us, bro, is a different energy.
yeah, yeah, like that 5M6 out of Halifax, they put on that whole show and it's like, it can put you off at first if you're like in the real rap vibe, but then you're like, oh, they're just setting a whole entire like alien vibe right now.
Yeah. It's foreign to Nova Scotia
Yeah,
because
oh
like,
yeah.
we don't traditionally follow industry trends, or at least not right away. I feel like we're kind of like 10 years behind the culture.
Yeah. And I just kind of plow through them all and like, I found since I found rap so late, I kind of was going through just trying to collect so much and discover so much. And
Same.
yeah, I
Yeah,
got
yeah,
through it
yeah.
all. I got kind of bored with trying to find all the real and like super like morally superior kind of stuff. And I was like, oh, I can mess with some Ski Mask, the Slump God and stuff.
Right not? Why not, man? I fuck with some Roddy
Yeah, oh yeah.
Ricch. I fuck with.
Yeah, oh yeah. See, then that's the thing. If
It's
you
a
hear it
vibe.
and it's a bop, if it's a bop, you can't just deny that
Yo,
happiness
the
when you
baby
hear it.
is kicking right now. I'm
Yeah,
not even gonna
exactly. Yeah.
lie, man.
Yeah, oh yeah. I dabble into all
Everything
sorts
he's
of
on, I gotta tune in.
I get a lot of questionable stuff. Yeah.
Well, for sure, for sure. And like I question myself, but like in the same vein, I know how to enjoy it and when to enjoy it, and like I'm not gonna
Yeah, you gotta
live
see
by
it as that.
that.
Yeah, you gotta
And
see it as that. It's like watching movies or something.
yeah, man, when I'm chilling with a few girls and the vibe is right, of course I'm gonna throw on some friggin' Almighty J or like, you
Yeah,
know,
oh yeah.
some crazy shit, man, because that is the vibe.
And that ties into the battling thing a bit, where I was starting to write like the unreal. I was like trying to talk shit about everyone that was rapping like unrealistically, but then
Mhm.
I found that stuff, if it's still gonna get reaction, I might as well do my own silly spin on it. So I would do these like silly gun bars, and then I found they got crazy reaction. And then as I would watch battles more, I found my favorites started to drift into the URL type like
Yes,
musicians
man.
work. So
Fuck
then I'm like,
yeah.
oh, you can turn that into like a creative thing. So then that's kind of like its own.
Absolutely, dude. It's
That's like
not
the
just
trap
cut and
of
dry,
battles.
I'll shoot you. It's like,
Yeah,
bar.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah, so then I had a whole resurgence of that when I hit the smoked out. Yeah. That is a similar vein as the trap to boom bap as the gun bars.
Absolutely, man. I do like the music when I know that the artist is more authentic,
Yeah, oh yeah, I got a lot of that too. Oh yeah.
but like,
It can get a little
um,
I don't yeah, if you're
if
just
you're
like
gonna say some
preaching it
shit for
on
crowd reaction, if it's dope, I'ma laugh.
yeah, oh yeah, because then that's the reaction,
That's the vibe, right? So,
yeah.
but yeah, man. Are you working on some music for a future release?
Yeah, oh yeah, I got a weird thing where it's like I've been putting out these like 20, 30 minute like kind of EP sized little albums that are like about like like 8 to 10 tracks, and now I've kind of got this new project going where, like I said before, I'm not just putting it out right when I write it and record it. I'm kind of like letting it sit and letting the words sit in a notepad for a
Let it
couple
marinate.
weeks and going, letting them just kind of practicing them every day and
Hmm.
like feeling them out. But this one's a little weirder. It's like right now it's like 10 beats, but it's only about a total of like 18 minutes. So it's like it's piecing together, and I keep adding things to it to mix into it. So it's gonna be a little bigger of a thing, I think.
Get a couple skits on the go.
Yeah, and that this thing I put out in November, I realized I could do a full length. So then it was like, oh, it's like 11 songs or so.
Yeah, fuck yeah, that's a vibe.
Oh yeah.
Um, so are you looking forward to getting back and doing shows?
Yeah, oh yeah, because I right before the shutdown happened, I got the tickets to sell for that Robbie G one, so I was actually getting into practicing a set
Yeah.
and doing that album because I was really kind of proud of it, really. And then yeah, so I am kind of excited to, but now it's it's hard to see the future right now because everything kind of changes by the hour.
Well,
So
no
yeah,
shows till 2021, I would suspect.
yeah. See, that's the thing. I wouldn't even want to give it the thought right yet.
Yeah. Yeah, I
I
hear
see
you, man.
comedians booking stuff, but then they're probably gonna cancel it too.
Yeah, probably. But
Hmm.
tell the people where they can find your music.
Well, so it's all on roachlungrecordings.bandcamp.com. You can search that on the Googles and stuff, but also on